Power. Look, whether you want to admit it or not, it's a game we are all playing. Every office, every relationship, and every social circle has its own hidden rules. So, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are taking on a genuinely massive challenge. We're going to unpack Robert Greene's legendary book, The 48 Laws of Power, and we are breaking down all 48 laws sequentially to uncover the secret dynamics that basically govern human behavior. Now, the sheer controversy surrounding this text is just fascinating. Published back in 1998, it was actually banned in several American prisons. No way, right? Some people view these laws as this dark manual for manipulation, while others see them as the ultimate guide to self-defense. In this explainer, we are not taking sides. We're simply acting as impartial observers, mapping out human behavior and the objective rules of the power game so that you are never caught off guard.
Okay, let's dive right into this with part 1, the foundation of power.
These initial laws are all about establishing your baseline social dominance. Let's sprint through these first 5. Law 1, never outshine the master. You always want to make those above you feel comfortably superior, because showing off your own brilliance just inspires fear. Law 2, never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Friends might betray you out of envy, but a former enemy has something to prove and will be fiercely loyal. Law 3, conceal your intentions. Keep people off balance. If they don't know your aim, they literally can't build a defense. Law 4, always say less than necessary. The more you speak, the more common you appear. Powerful people intimidate simply by being brief. And Law 5, so much depends on reputation, so guard it with your life. A strong reputation wins the battle before it even starts. Moving right along to Law 6, this rule dictates that you must court attention at all costs. Never be invisible in a crowd. Law 7 says to get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. It saves your energy and makes you look incredibly efficient. Law 8, make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. When you force others to act, you control the board. Law 9, win through your actions, never through argument. Arguments just breed lingering resentment, whereas actions demonstrate undeniable proof. And Law 10 is all about infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Misery is highly contagious, and chronically miserable people will absolutely drag you down with them. Rounding out the foundation phase, Law 11 tells us to keep people dependent on you. The more they need you, the more freedom you have. Law 12, use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. Just one sincere move lowers their guard entirely. Law 13, when asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their gratitude. Reminding them of past favors rarely works out. Law 14, pose as a friend, work as a spy. Gather crucial knowledge in casual conversations. Finally, Law 15, crush your enemy totally. Listen, if you leave even a single ember burning, a fire will eventually reignite. Mercy can be dangerous in a power struggle. Let's take a quick breath here. We are 15 laws in, and I want you to actively think about this. Which of these early laws surprised you the most? Or maybe, which one have you vividly seen play out in your own office or social circle? Take a second to really reflect on that, because realizing these dynamics happen around us every single day is the very first step to understanding them. All right, ramping back up, let's get into part 2, manipulating perception. Here, the focus completely shifts to how others see you, diving straight into the realm of psychological warfare. Law 16, use absence to increase respect and honor. Being everywhere makes you common. Scarcity creates immense value. Law 17, cultivate an air of unpredictability. Humans love habits, right? So when you break patterns, you keep rivals exhausted trying to guess your next move. Law 18, do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation cuts you off from vital information, so stay in the crowd. Law 19, know who you are dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person, because some people will literally plot their revenge for years. And Law 20, do not commit to anyone. By staying independent, you force both sides to desperately court your favor. Now, Law 21 is absolutely fascinating. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. When targets feel smarter than you, their guard drops completely. Law 22, use the surrender tactic. If you're weaker, surrender to buy time to recover while their power fades. Law 23, concentrate your forces. You gain way more by mining one deep vein than a dozen shallow ones. Law 24, play the perfect courtier. Basically, flatter and yield gracefully in highly political environments. And Law 25, recreate yourself. Don't let society cast you. Forge a dynamic new identity that commands constant attention. When managing your outward image, Law 26 advises, keep your hands clean, seem like a paragon of civility, and use scapegoats to hide your mistakes. Law 27, play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following, give them a cause. Law 28, enter action with boldness. Doubts will absolutely ruin your execution, but boldness strikes fear and hides blunders. Law 29, plan all the way to the end. Anticipate every single obstacle so fortune doesn't blindside you. And Law 30, make your achievements seem effortless, hide the hard work. When you make it look easy, people think you possess absolute magic. Okay, final stretch. Here is part 3, sustaining power. Look, getting to the top is one thing, but staying there requires an entirely different set of rules. Law 31, control the options. Give people choices, but make sure every single option lands in your favor. They feel in control, but you hold the cards. It's brilliant. Law 32, play to people's fantasies. The truth is often harsh. Weaving illusions draws crowds. Law 33, discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a hidden insecurity or weakness. Find it and exploit it. Law 34, act like a king to be treated like one. Carry yourself with royal confidence and the world will respond in kind. Law 35, master the art of timing. Never look hurried. Move with the patience of someone who knows victory is inevitable. Law 36, disdain things you cannot have. Acknowledging a petty problem gives it credibility. Ignoring it is the absolute best revenge. Law 37, create compelling spectacles. Grand visual gestures create a truly powerful aura. Law 38, think as you like, but behave like others. Flaunting unconventional ideas just attracts negative attention, so blend in. Law 39, stir of waters to catch fish. Keep your own emotions perfectly calm while infuriating your enemies to make them stumble. And Law 40, despise the free lunch. Free things usually carry hidden obligations. Paying your own way keeps you entirely free from guilt and manipulation. So the crucial point in this next batch is dealing with resistance. Law 41, avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. You're going to have to work twice as hard to outshine a legend, so establish your own name. Law 42, strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Group trouble usually traces back to one instigator. Isolate them. Law 43, work on the hearts and minds of others. Seduce them into following you rather than coercing them. Law 44, disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. Copy your enemy's moves exactly to mock and blind them. Law 45, preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Humans are creatures of habit. Rapid shifts cause revolt. And finally, the conclusion of our journey. Law 46, never appear too perfect. Flawlessness invites silent, envious enemies. Displaying minor vices actually makes you approachable. Law 47, do not go past the mark you aimed for. In victory, learn when to stop. Arrogance after a win can push you too far and create new enemies. Stop when you hit your goal. And the ultimate defense, Law 48, assume formlessness. Rigid plans make you a highly visible target. Instead, adapt to the changing landscape. Be fluid, like water. 48 laws. Man, that is an incredible amount of strategy to process all at once. But the main takeaway from Greene's text is that power is simply a tool. It's not inherently evil. You now hold the objective map to human behavior, ensuring you're never caught off guard again. If you stayed focused through all 48 laws in this explainer, congratulations. You have the exact kind of focus required to truly build and sustain power. The only question left is, armed with these hidden dynamics, how will you choose to navigate the world?